Hi there, and welcome to a bonus episode in my full collectibles walkthrough for Celeste series. Today, we're just going to wrap up the series with a few extras. So the first thing I thought I would do is show you how to enable cheat mode. So in case you were wondering how I had all the chapters unlocked, including all the golden berries, etc., there is a code you can put in if you come onto this screen from the prologue. So if you start a new file, come left in prologue, and then if you press, and I'll put this in the description, if you press left, right, journal, grab, up, down, left, grab, confirm, right, which is a bit of an odd code, you get a little sound, and if you come back to the map, all the levels are unlocked, and you have all the B's, A, B, and C sides, and you also have the golden strawberry, so it's as if you've cleared everything in the game and you've got access to farewell as well. And then the second thing I thought I would just show you, in case you hadn't seen it before, is the Moonberry. So in Chapter 9, which is the DLC chapter, there are no collectibles to pick up, so no red berries and no cassette or heart. Except there is one very secret berry right at the end of the entire game. So if you start from the very last checkpoint and then play through the screen as you normally would. So it's a long screen. I'm sure you've done it already. If you're watching this video, you've probably done it. But yeah, so it's the very last screen of the game, which is infamous for being like 2 minutes long, some relatively tough platforming throughout, and it can take a lot of deaths. If you die 50 times on this screen, you get a little pet talk from Badlin. Which is to encourage you to keep going, which actually, like, I'm not even going to lie, when I didn't realize that was coming, and the very first time I cleared this screen, I did indeed need that pep talk, and I'm not saying it got me through in the very next go, but it definitely helped keep me motivated. So that was a cute little nod from the developers. Right, let's take this a bit carefully. This is the hardest part of the screen, really. So that's done. So why did I make this series for a game that is nearly 6 years old? Well, it's possibly my favourite game of all time, and I just think that it deserves as much love and attention as it can possibly get. So I'm happy to do my bit. And also, let's be honest, it can be a very frustrating game if you don't, have a clear idea of how to do something. I've put in thousands of hours into this game, and I still get very frustrated at times. And I say thousands of hours because there's a lot more to Celeste than just the main game. So there is a really active community of players even now, and typically there are sort of two or three maybe different camps of people who play this game. So there are speedrunners. So I've done a bit of speedrunning myself, which you might have seen as we've played through some of these videos, where you try and beat the game as fast as you can. It's a very speedrunner friendly game. There are also modded Celeste players, so modded fan-made maps, which you can get into if you own Celeste on a PC. And then there are deathless players who like to beat really challenging maps in one go, and you collect the golden strawberry. So and I've got the golden strawberry on this map, and this is a long map and it's quite tough. So and I don't consider myself anywhere near the level of some people. So yeah, so it's a really fascinating game. You can dump loads of hours into it. So yeah, I just wanted to do it justice. Now, the way to get this berry is we get all the way to the end here, and what you'd normally do is you break the box and ride the bird over to victory. But instead what you do, you give it one tap, and then you come over to the left and go back. So you might have already seen this before, but you need to go back the way you came, including doing some wave dashing off of blocks like that, which can be quite scary. Obviously, if you this far through Farewell, I'm safe to assume you know how to do wave dashing and or extended hyper dashing. So I'm not gonna skip out on those techniques because you do need them to navigate your way through here. So if we keep coming our way up, wait, I think. Which way do we go now? Yes, we come up this way. So what we want to do is use the fish to make our way over here. So all these random blocks that were floating about as you made your way through the screen first time round actually serve a purpose, and they form this really secret route back. If you're lucky, you might even find this jelly here, which was the jelly that you had from earlier. But I'm not going to assume that you've got access to that because you don't need it. And you make your way here, and now if you died anywhere leading up to this run, up to here, you just start all the way back at the beginning of the screen. Once you've made it here, this is actually a checkpoint. So if you die here, it's not too bad. So we just use these dashes to get up here. Wall bounce up here. Grab double crystal. 2 dashes over there. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I get to show off the checkpoint. Yeah, this climb can be a bit difficult to figure out. Whoops. Okay. Ah, what happened there? The block bounced away from me. Okay. Right, let's just get this done. Nope. Hello? Why am I struggling with this? There we go. So yeah, if you struggle on this climb, don't worry. It's not a gimme. Okay. Whew. Uh-oh. Yeah, no. I have failed. Okay, you can just do that. Right, and there we go. And this is the secret Moonberry room. Now this is an interesting room because you come through and then there's nothing there. And you're like, oh, that's weird. And what's actually happened is going up and around has reset your death checkpoint. And so this is actually a mandatory death. This is the only time you have to die in the game. So you can either just retry or hit these spikes and you'll respawn here. And if you have managed to bring the golden strawberry all the way here, it will survive that death. So, you know, that is an unexpected death. And then we come to this lovely screen, which tests our ability to juggle a jelly, use it to climb up a screen. I haven't actually cleared this screen in a while, so this might be this might take a few goes. Oh, yeah. Interesting. So you learned how to do this jelly juggling earlier in Farewell, so it shouldn't be anything particularly novel. So you can do it like this. Wow, okay, yeah. So you can see this isn't actually super straightforward. Okay. So I'm using a technique there called a jellyvator. You hold down to keep the jelly sort of stationary in the air, and then you can dash off into it. But you don't have to do that to beat the screen, but I definitely find it slightly easier. Okay, let's skip to me actually managing this, shall we? Okay, so I got it the next try. So if you manage to make it through here and you think you're going to land on that platform, actually there's this wind that brings you up, updraft, and you can't actually look at this bit in the watchtower. So you kind of need to wing it, and so you do this like that. Activate that there, and then we have a similar thing going on here. So if you want, what you can do, you can come up here, which lets you view. So this is just to see what's going on. But what you actually want to do here is chuck it to the left, and you make it up like that. It's a bit nerve-wracking because it does take a bit of time to get through that screen. And you float on up. The jelly dies, and here is the magical Moonberry. And the collect of it is very nice indeed. Just give it a watch. Wow. And that's it. So that's the very last thing to collect in the game, unless of course you're going for the golden strawberries. If you are, I've actually got videos of me beating every level, including Farewell, with the golden on this channel. So obviously, by all means, check them out. The Farewell Golden is one of my proudest gaming achievements to date. Frankly, it's one of my proudest achievements to date. Never mind the fact that I've got a 6-month-old daughter. And anyway, so that's it for this series. Good luck with completing Celeste 100%. Well worth it. And yeah, stick with it. Hopefully these videos have helped you pick up the bits and pieces you were missing. And I will see you when I see you. Thanks very much. Cheers.